You might call this a fireside chat. Fire. And this element of heat of the wood is stored solar energy, which is amazing. And if you actually really look at how things burn like this, is that the wood has the stored solar heat, and somehow the flame coming encourages that to jump out, to just activate and go, whoa. And another thing, though, was so interesting, like to say if you light a candle, that flame, and then you light someone else's candle from the same flame, your flame is not diminished. And that oftentimes we think that if I'm giving, I'm generous, I'm empowering others, because we've been taught, in a sense, to fear other people. And to have envy for what other people have or what they're doing. And all of this comes from the lack of knowledge about who we are as divine beings, and all of our divine being, godlike powers and abilities and talents. Somebody said the other day, well, what are my talents? Well, which ones do you want to have? And they go, oh. See, because you think you come in with certain things and that's all you have. Well, this body has its genetics, okay, which can influence you in many ways if you live in your mind. And what the key is and even with the elements, the water, the oxygen, the air, the earth, which would be basically fire and some kind of matter. And they say that, I don't know if it's true or not, but if you took all the density or dense matter out of the universe, a teeny thing maybe fits in the fireplace, I don't know, but it's so heavy. But I thought, well, what is that? And it's a sense that this magnificent creation here, and here you have the stones, and these stones are like crystals because they also store memory. And where is the memory coming from? Is coming from the source of the earth, in a sense. It's this very being where it mixes all these elements and producing then this beautiful garden. And that fire then is that passion, you might want to say. It's Shakti, it's Shiva, it's a cleansing. But like in any element, it can bring pleasure or it can bring pain. And what we realize is that pleasure and that pain is what we're really thinking about most of the time, is only physical. And that what we're really desiring is this, to be without the slightest hint of distress. And that first has to come from you recognizing what is the source of your pain. And if we begin to look at the mind, for most people, is a terrorist. And it's not, anybody doesn't say, I couldn't go to sleep really because of all the wonderful thoughts in my mind and the joy and the happiness. Most people, they go to sleep to get rid of the mind, so that they can get some peace and quiet to go back and regenerate, in a sense, without the mind. And what we have to get is that there is divine mind, just like there's divine fire, I would say, and divine water, which we should call Varuna, or whatever you want to call the water, all kinds of names. But they're living entities. These are their forms, their expressions. Because when we also start to look at that life is personal, not impersonal. We're not focusing on numbers and symbols and letters and calculating and figuring out. See, what most times we've been directed somehow in our maybe genetic programming, but in our cultural programming, or whatever you want to say, to set ourselves up for suffering, for pain, for that negativity. And when we do that, and how you want to know if that's contaminated you, that you have given your power to your mind, instead of keeping the power that you have, by using the power that you have and knowing that you have the power.